The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superb teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Tonight, I'm going to take you on a journey in leadership, my journey from mentee to mentor. Picture yourself in 1983. I was 12 years old, entering 7th grade, and I had a history teacher named Mr. Edward Forbush. Ed Forbush was, to me, a superstar instructor, a superstar teacher. Also, Ed Forbush was my first contact ever with what a United States Marine is. He was harsh, to say the least. His instructional style was very pointed and very in-your-face kind of style. Mr. Forbush, to me, was firm, fair, and consistent. These are one of the traits that I picked up within as I progressed through my life in the Marine Corps. He actually inspired me to become a Marine. Mr. Forbush also told me to inspect what you expect. These are traits that I carried long throughout my career. Mr. Forbush never gave me an inch when I would try to take a mile. Mr. Forbush also told me that sometimes your best effort is only your best effort, meaning to me that you can try as much as you can, but sometimes what you can do is what you can do. Mr. Forbush also taught me about the pride of belonging. His fierce tenacity and his defense of the Marine Corps when I badmouthed it one day will live with me forever. A second mentor in my life was my first platoon sergeant, Staff Sergeant LaRue Marone. Staff Sergeant Marone taught me many things throughout our 3.5 years together. He brought me from an 18-year-old punk kid to a corporal of Marines. One of the defining factors about Staff Sergeant Marone is his attitude. His attitude was gratitude is the attitude. Be thankful for the things that you have in your life and never question where they come from, but always absolutely be grateful for what you have. He would never ask you to do something that he would not do himself. Again, a second trait that I carried throughout my career with me. And he also taught me, Lance Corporal Vinciguerra, curiosity is okay when you question a decision, but disrespect is never okay. Again, another trait that I carried throughout my lifetime. He also taught me that leaders are not infallible. We can make mistakes, but if we own our mistakes, we grow as leaders and we grow as mentors. Past my time in the Marine Corps, a third mentor that I have was actually 15 years younger than myself. A friend of mine, David Wayne, he's an escape room owner in another town, and he's grown a company of 5 escape rooms. I look to David for business advice and business friendship. Sure, he is younger than me, but he has light years of experience ahead of me. He's more successful than me. I am not so proud that I would put my reputation in jeopardy by not listening to the wisdom of somebody younger than myself. David has taught me in business, we do what we can, when we can, with what we have. Meaning to me that we don't need to strive for ultimate success. We just want to carve our little piece of the pie out. He also taught me that you have time to do the things that you dream of until you don't have that time, which means to me, have a sense of urgency and be ready to move on the things you want to accomplish, but don't jeopardize everything that you have just to accomplish those dreams. David also taught me that moving with urgency when the time is right. Sure, we have big plans for our companies. We want to achieve great things, but we cannot achieve everything all at one time. So David, to me, is a great mentor. And these are the lessons I carry as I move forward in my instructional career, coaching and mentoring new and young business owners. I carried these lessons through my time in 20 years in the Marine Corps, mentoring young Marines every single day. Some of these young Marines are now first sergeants and sergeant majors select in the Marine Corps. I've been out of the Marines for 15 years, but that small thumbprint that I was able to place on them in my time throughout their career has left a lasting impression on the Marine Corps and those Marines. These three individuals that I spoke about, they have influenced my personal life. They influenced how I train my Marines. They've influenced how I run my business. They influenced how I live my life. I am an amalgamation, to use a word from a past meeting. I am an amalgamation of them in my leadership style. When I mentor others, I am passing on to them all of the lessons I learned over 40 years of being a mentee and growing into a mentor. Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay, I am Toastmaster Brian Evaluator, and his speech title, as he mentioned earlier, was Mentee to Mentor, a Journey in Leadership. Let's go into general comments in reference to what you excelled at. It was a great introduction, and you excelled in telling a story regarding your first mentor, Mr. Forbush. And you went into kind of highlighting how he gave you some nuggets of knowledge, which led up to you becoming a Marine because he set a great example. And then you went into talking about your other mentor, the Staff Sergeant Roman, if I make sure I pronounce that right. And you remember some of the nuggets of knowledge he gave you as a Marine, young Marine, and in turn, you was able to continue to do great things in the Marine Corps. And then your third mentor you talked about was Dave. And you talked about he's been younger than you, but yet he had enough knowledge in business that you was able to be humble and listen. And he was able to give you some lessons in business to help you to be successful as you are today. Overall, you talked about those three mentors that help you become, as a mentee, you talk about those mentors to help you become a mentor for some of your mentees that you was able to develop while you was on active duty as a Marine. And then that led into you be retiring and currently what you're doing now as a business individual, a man, and how you are doing great things for the community. So those things I thought you excelled in. For what you think you need to work on, for us being virtue, and I'm a visual person, I think it would enhance your overall speeches. You would have had possibly a picture or a PowerPoint slide showing you and that mentee or mentor for each of those individuals. You talked about those three individuals, perhaps having a picture in the background so I could kind of envision that person, who that person, the first individual, and then the other two mentors. And then closing that out with your mentees, if you had an older picture when you was on active duty, you may have been about 30 pounds lighter or in uniform, maybe have been in Iraq, Afghanistan, depends on when what time frame you were serving. So I thought that would enhance your overall presentation. What I would like to challenge you on, and again, with virtue, it would be tied in more with the pictures, being able to move around to kind of present the pictures to the group, demonstrate those past mentors and mentees. For some of the things I want to just highlight, as we normally do, for us, clarity, you excelled in that. Vocal variety, you excel using the tone, speech, and volume. Eye contact, you in a virtual environment, you focus on the group and make sure you make eye contact with everyone within the group. Gestures, I was able to see your gestures throughout the speech, using your hand gestures. You were very comfortable. I felt that you were very comfortable. Your appearance was comfortable with the audience. And overall, your tone, your tone was steady throughout the presentation. But overall, I thought you did a great presentation in reference to mentee to mentor, a journey in leadership. Back to you, back to general evaluating.